Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to end procrastination. Thank you so much to Peter Ludwig's book, The End of Procrastination. I found this book at the library about a month ago, and after I finished reading a couple of his pages, it has really helped me to gain better insight on procrastination. Make sure to check out his book if you are a bit curious on the depths of procrastination. In today's video, I'm going to be incorporating a little bit of my own advice as well as Peter's advice to be able to end procrastination, and a tool that you can use in your day-to-day life which can help you defeat procrastination. Procrastination is putting things off intentionally or habitually. Everyone goes through it, so let's just skip the introduction and go straight into how to defeat procrastination. The most important step of defeating procrastination is actually to do with your comfort zone. Learning to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. Most of the time when we want to complete a task, we tend to procrastinate it because we view it as difficult, hard, or we just see the task in a negative light as something unpleasant, so we subconsciously put the task outside of our comfort zone, leaving ourselves safe from harm. We're actually doing more harm than good because we're putting off the task and intentionally not doing it. In order to break the cycle, we must challenge ourselves. Mental stimulation in any area of your life will help you to defeat procrastination and give you the abilities to do the task that you want to do. So I want you to begin to reflect on all areas of your life, whether it's finances, your school life, your work life, relationships, physical well-being, mental well-being, any aspect. Think about it. If you are constantly putting off tasks in any areas of your life, it is definitely a sign that you tend to procrastinate. Even procrastinating, not going on a run, will drastically affect the way that you approach any other aspect. I want you to try to incorporate something that is outside of your comfort zone and different from what you would usually do in your weekly, daily life. For example, if we're dealing with finances, maybe you save a couple extra dollars than you usually would and spend a bit less. For your relationships, maybe that you reach out to a friend that you haven't talked to. For your work, maybe try to complete a task as soon as it's assigned. Anything that you usually wouldn't do, I would start off small and commit to something that you can do outside of your comfort zone. So you could even go on a run once a week, and that would be something to challenge yourself and give yourself a bit of a different perspective from what you usually do. Take a cold shower, go on a solo date, talk to a stranger on a bus, journal a difficult question to yourself. Anything like that is going to push you outside of your comfort zone and challenge you. When you start doing things out of the ordinary, it kind of disrupts your flow, but it's not a chaotic disruption because you're intentionally doing something that is going to make you grow and make you learn. When you start realizing that maybe being outside your comfort zone, it wasn't as bad as you thought, it makes you used to that pressure of being uncomfortable, and doing this can actually teach you in your daily life to be more spontaneous. If I want to complete a task that's way out of my comfort zone in my schoolwork, it's going to really challenge me because I've developed that ability to step out of my comfort zone. Even if it's got nothing to do with my schoolwork, I'm actually training my brain a lot to think differently and to really approach a task as less difficult. I'll actually be subconsciously reaching towards that book, doing the task that I wanted to do, because I realized that it's not as bad to step out of my comfort zone, and I've actually learned to be comfortable even when I'm uncomfortable. Every single area of procrastination relies on discipline. When we want to defeat procrastination, we can't rely on spontaneity or just a little burst of motivation to get us to completing really difficult tasks. Sometimes it can help, but on the long run, we don't want to be relying on something that kind of relies on how we're feeling that day. If we want to, must develop a sense of discipline where we can solidify the bridge between the comfort and the discomfort. So now it's truly impossible to go from 0 to 100 overnight. You may be thinking that I'm 17, I'm gonna become a billionaire by 20 or something like that. That's not realistic because you haven't even figured out what to do, how you're gonna become a billionaire. You have to develop discipline, undergo a lot of procedures to be able to become a billionaire or even to start thinking about earning money. You have to start small. When you're trying to become the best version of yourself, you shouldn't expect yourself to show up as the new version of yourself overnight. There's a tool that is kind of mentioned in Peter Ludwig's book, and I've modified it to my own. I call it the habit tablet. On a paper, you have a fully lined column for about 30 days designated to a few habits. I advise you to start small and never overestimate yourself. People who struggle with procrastination find it difficult to stick to your personal promises because of our emotional brain messes with our rationality. Your habit can be as simple as waking up at 7 and sleeping at 10. To use this tool, before the end of the day, you take your habit tablet. So what you do is just grab your journal or whatever you're writing your habit list on, even if it's stuck up on the wall or something. Reflect on your day, see if you completed your habit. Use a green highlighter or a green pen to tick off the tasks that you have done. Use a red pen for the tasks that you haven't done. On your first couple of months of using the habit tablet, to actually incorporate less habits. So for example, right now I only have the simple things on my habit tablet. I have waking up, sleeping, drinking water, and exercising, and journaling. Even if it's quite difficult and quite daunting, I would literally recommend to have one habit that you want to track for a whole month. Even if you don't complete your habit in the first couple of weeks or even months, you'll realize that over time you get better at reminding yourself of your habit, because you're picking up that book every single night, reminding yourself. As you get better, the more you can add more tasks and more habits to your list. Realistically, not everything in life can be put into a habit tablet. Like if you have a task with a due date, like daily or weekly tasks that you should be doing, I recommend just to start. There's this quote that says, "The cost of procrastination is the life that you could have lived." Let that sink in. Everything that you're procrastinating, it's only hurting yourself. You're losing your dream life to procrastination every single day. As soon as you get a task, just start it. Avoid the loss of losing your potential. But seriously, it's not going to work for everyone. No one's going to just be able to get their head down and start doing a task if they're finding it super difficult. Sometimes we just can't start. That's usually because the task seems too difficult or too daunting for us to even begin. Start with what is easiest and break it down. Break your assignment into 3 segments, maybe your introduction and your paragraphs and your conclusion. Something like that will help you get over that fear. I can do 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the night. That doesn't sound too bad, but if we really think about it, a whole week added up, that's 14 hours of work towards your assignment. When we're splitting up the tasks into more easier and more approachable tasks, people are able to complete the task and also meet the promises that they've made. When setting goals towards your task, make sure that it's S.M.A.R.T, SMART. I've learned this in my business class and I actually find this pretty useful on my day-to-day life. Setting SMART goals, making sure that your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. When you're making promises to yourself or setting goals, you have to realistically reflect on your goal and think if it's actually a SMART goal. If it's not, you're most likely to end up procrastinating and maybe not completing the task at all, or you'll end up doing it but it's not going to come out the way that you wanted because of the structure of your goal is not actually pretty realistic for the time frame or anything that you're given. So next time, really think if your goal is SMART. I know this video was super short, but I just wanted to share with you my top advice for ending procrastination. If you want the full video notes, I'm going to be leaving a link to the Google document down below. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope that you did learn a thing or two and be able to go into 2024 with the basics to fight off your procrastination. Bye guys, I'll see you in the next video.